What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode with your girl, Tia. Before we get too deep into the video, you already know I want you guys to, of course, like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that whenever I post, you can see and be here with me, okay? I want you here every single time, so you can't miss a beat. You gotta subscribe, and you gotta click the notification bell, okay? So, you already know today we have to say our affirmations before we get too deep into today's discussion. And today's affirmation will be, what I am inside is what helps make me and do everything in my life. Once again, what I am inside is what helps make me and do everything in my life. And I love this affirmation because it helps us stop looking into external factors to shape ourselves and do what we want in our lives. Every single thing that you want to do in your life, you can do simply today, or take a step today just by what you have and simply from who you are. So before we start getting into the different signs of abandonment issues and how to overcome those issues, we're first going to give the definition of what is abandonment issues, or what does that even look like, right? Abandonment issues refer to deep-seated fears and anxiety related to the fear of being deserted, rejected, and left alone. These issues often stem from real perceived experiences of being either rejected or abandoned or neglected as a child. So, here are the top 5 signs of abandonment issues. 1 is fear of rejection, and I feel like this is something that a lot of people struggle with. So this is having intense fear of being either rejected, neglected, or abandoned by anyone, which causes you to not want to form close relationships. Another sign of abandonment issues are difficulty in trusting others. So of course, as we said before, it's just not wanting to trust others or really get close to anyone because you always feel in the back of your head that you might be betrayed or abandoned in some way. Another sign would be emotional unavailability. And I see this a lot of times and correlated to, just not wanting to, of course, be vulnerable. Because when you are vulnerable, you do put yourself in a state where you can get hurt. That's the whole definition of being vulnerable, just the ability to be hurt, right? And this is a defense mechanism for people to avoid just being hurt in any way, shape, or form, or avoid just feeling abandoned. Number 4, the need for constant reassurance. So you will seek out constant reassurance just to make yourself feel like, you're not being abandoned or you're not being unloved. Just to give you that safety that, okay, like they're still here for me, even though they haven't given you any signs that they're leaving. But if they don't affirm you or reassure you on a constant basis, then you're automatically going to think that they're abandoning you. And last but not least, number 5, avoidance of intimacy, which you can also correlate to being emotionally unavailable. But it's funny because I was going, not back and forth, I wouldn't say, but having a little debate the other day. You're probably going to see in one of my comments somewhere. And basically what I would see a lot of times is that people will be in relationships, and they will be in relationships that are strictly transactional or surface based, but it's not really intimate in an emotional way, right? And so even having abandonment issues is lack of emotional intelligence. It can stem from your parents. And so I was really trying to get that down to somebody, because I feel like a lot of times when you're dealing with, I understand that men are very logical when it comes to, a lot of situations, and when it comes to like when you ask them questions, like they think with their head first. And I get that 100%. But in a sense of being in a relationship or having intimate, close relationships, you have to understand your emotions and how you are feeling in order to emotionally connect with another human being. It's really just that simple. It's literally called having empathy. Lack of empathy leads to low emotional intelligence. Plain and simple. And I see a lot of times that people are in relationships that are literally just surface based, and they lack a lot of emotional vulnerability. And people can do that so that they don't have to be vulnerable and have to feel abandonment if everything goes wrong. which is another sign of abandonment issues and a lot of other things. So yeah, let's just move forward. So the top 5 ways in order to heal or move forward from these issues are: 1, self-awareness, which I will always say is number 1. You have to be self-aware of yourself that you are having these issues. You have to acknowledge them first. That is always the first step when it comes to healing. Acknowledging what it is that needs to be healed. Self-reflection and knowing exactly what relationships in your childhood that you had that made you feel such emotions and have such issues. Number 2, challenging your negative thoughts. A lot of times what I see in relationships when there are abandonment issues and trust issues and all these other things, sometimes your partner doesn't even have to give you any signs, or not even like an intimate partner, but maybe a friend, a family member, any close relationships that you have. They don't even have to give you necessarily any signs that shows that they're going to abandon you or you shouldn't trust them or anything. People would just conjure up negative thoughts within their own head, overthinking, which is, very similar to self-sabotaging. And they would, basically think themselves into like this negative space of making them feel like they shouldn't trust that person, right? And so when you are having these thoughts, the best thing to do is to challenge these thoughts, especially if the person has given you no reason to have such negative thoughts. And I feel like that's why a lot of times today, in today's day in relationships, people have a tendency of going into situations, liking a person or wanting to be with a person, but they automatically think that they're going to play with them, or they're going to do this, or they're going to do that based off their past experiences, not even giving the person a full chance. And so then they do something to mess the situation up before the situation can even flourish to its full potential, if there is any, which is, like I said, very close to self-sabotaging. That's basically what that is. So as said, you want to challenge those negative thoughts and just, like I said, just think very logically in these situations and don't be too much in your head about things. Like I said, if the person literally did not give you any reason to not trust them or whatever the case may be, then don't do that to them. Give them the benefit of the doubt, okay? You want to try replacing more of your negative thoughts with some positive ones in order to rewire your thinking when it comes to relationships. Number 3 would be building healthier relationships, even going back to number 2, which is, setting boundaries, open communication, and having people around you who not only, respect but understand your boundaries, respect and understand exactly where you're coming from. And, just implementing healthy things in your relationship so that you can actually maintain healthy relationships with people. Number 4 would be building a supportive system, okay? Whether that be in counseling, whether in your friends, your family, someone that you feel like you can talk to about these issues, about having abandonment issues, about not trusting people, about, the fear of abandonment and, how you want to go about healing and things of that nature. And someone that's there for you, that even if when you come across you having negative thoughts and you really can't affirm yourself into positive thinking. I have that issue sometimes. Sometimes I could be going through something that is so, just sporadic, and I'd be trying to talk to myself like, you got this, this, that, and a third. And sometimes I'm like, okay, this ain't helping me right now. Like, I can't, like, I hear me, but I'm not feeling it. Sometimes you need somebody, a friend to call, a family member to call and be like, hey, right now I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that. Can you, speak some positive words into me? And you definitely need that support system, especially when you are going through this healing stage of abandonment issues or just really anything else. So make sure you have a wonderful support system by your side, because you're going to need them. Last but not least, journaling. Journaling / mindfulness and meditation. I have a video on here of mindfulness and meditation. I will leave the link below if you want to check it out. But journaling is super important, because when you are having these negative thoughts, I wouldn't even say only when you have negative thoughts, also positive ones, but you want to journal out your feelings. Sometimes things are so much in your head that it's so cluttered, all these words, all these thoughts, all these different feelings, that you actually need to get them down on a piece of paper, or maybe just even on your phone. I have different journals. I have a journal in my notes. I have a journal in my folder. I have a journal in different books. Wherever I feel like I need to write and I have the space to do so, when I just feel like my head is just really all over the place, or even if I want to write down something positive, maybe I'm having a great day, It's good to just get those thoughts out and maybe even reread it to yourself so that you can hear yourself, hear your thoughts, and it gives you a better trajectory of really how you're feeling and what's going on in your head. Like I said, sometimes it's literally so much going on up there. It's just like, what is going on? What in the world is really going on? So you want to really journal those thoughts out, especially if they're negative ones, and maybe even try like writing out your negative thought and then underneath or to the side of it, writing out the positive one to that thought and rereading it to yourself. So like I said, you can even really get a better understanding of even where your thoughts is coming from, and writing down those thoughts. You can look at those thoughts and think to yourself, like, why would I have this thought? Where is this really stemming from? Is this really my thought, or am I getting this from somewhere else? Journaling will really help you in that aspect to help you process and cope with your emotions. Now, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you can take something from this video. And like I always say, when it comes to healing, it is literally a roller coaster. So you got this. You are okay. 1001%. I am here with you. And if you ever want to like educate yourself and do extra research on this, just, search different books and, or maybe go to a library. A lot of libraries have, different sections with self-help and everything. And, pick whatever really calls out to you and maybe flip open the page and see if it resonates with you and if it can help you. And not only, when it comes to educating yourself on these things, don't only educate yourself on them, but also take a step forward every single day, even if it's the smallest step, to help you get to where you want to be. I love you guys and I appreciate you. Like I always say, make sure you like, comment, and of course subscribe. And y'all stay safe out there, okay? I love you and I see you next time. Bye.